welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making rice and beans, but then you will be like, why have I got all this here? I've got all this here because I want to show you all the stuff that my mum likes, which is Ugandan food. What I have here is a pawpaw, which I really like, and I haven't had one of these for ages. So I've got a pawpaw, some lemongrass. This is also lemongrass, just in bits. Then I've got cassava, bananas. These ones aren't sweet bananas. These ones are the sweet bananas, the small sweet bananas here. These ones are for eating. These ones you can eat them as well, but these ones are more of the sweet ones as fruit. So I've got matoke. These ones are basically bananas, but you cook these to make matoke. And then I also have, I get muddled up with cassava and sweet potato. Yes, a sweet potato. So the sweet potato is a purple colour that my mummy likes. If you upset my mum and she gets cross or something, you should buy her these and she'll get very happy. And if you buy me one of these, then I'll be extremely happy because I love them. So here I've got some raw beans here, which have been dried. And I've got some cooked ones here, some freshly cooked beans here, which weren't cooked when they were dry like this. They were freshly picked from mine and my mum's garden, and then they were cooked. They may have been left for like a day or so. And then I've got the rice here that is raw. I haven't cooked it yet. These are the ingredients that I'm going to use for my beans. I'm going to use beans, carrots, some onions, some more beans. They're different types of beans though. They're like French beans. And some coconut milk, cooking oil and tomatoes. Of course, I'm not going to be using all of this cooking oil because this is way too much. We don't want to overcook the carrots, but well, my family don't like overcooked carrots or overcooked French beans. You might be wondering, why have I got a big pile of onions? It's not that big, but I've got quite a lot of onions because they're good. The onions are good for making a good soup. Right, I'm going to start cooking the beans now, and then I'm going to start cooking the rice and posho. So I'm going to put this on the agar thingy. First time I've done that barehanded. I'm going to put the onions in the oil until they're golden brown. I'm being careful so that the oil doesn't it doesn't splash and then go on me, because oil it can burn you very badly. You see how I jumped? It's not good to do that because then it's more likely that you're going to get burned. But even when I do this, I'm a bit scared. My mum just told me to do this. Yeah. So I'm going to leave them in there until they're like a golden brown. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to be cutting my tomatoes because I've cut everything else, but I just haven't cut my tomatoes. I'm just stirring these so that then they cook a bit better. And how I jumped, I was scared that I'd burn myself, like everyone would be scared. You saw me jumping, didn't you? I went like that. Yes, the onions are ready. They're brownish colour. So I'm going to carefully put the tomatoes in so that I don't burn myself. Very noisy. It's very noisy, just like I sometimes am. And you can even see it's making a soup already. because of the juice that's coming out of the tomatoes. Can you see the juice over the steam of the smoke? So now I'm just going to stir them a bit. It is better to keep them moving because they could burn a bit. I think my tomatoes are ready. I've put them on a lower heat ring and I'm going to put the tomato puree in, which is this. I'm going to put this much in here, if it will come off. Yeah, that came off quite easily. And I'm going to mix it together a little bit. Tomato puree is basically tomatoes. We don't need too much tomatoes in. That's why I only put 2 of the whole tomatoes in. And now I'm going to put these veggies in. I call them veggies instead of vegetables. I've mixed them together, so I'm just going to put them in. Oh, they're sticking to the bottom of it. And mix them together. I mix everything together. For some reason, I always find whenever I'm cooking that the food always reduces whenever you're cooking stuff. Because we had more than this in here, and there's a little bit. It's just a small bit of this. But anyway, the beans are going to make their beef bigger. Because there's only a very small bit in here, so you can see. Okay, I've mixed them together. I think it's going to be time to put the beans in now. Before the beans, I'm going to put the coconut milk in. This is how much I've used, one quarter of a cup. I'm going to put it in to make so that we can get the nice creamy texture and the coconut milky taste. There. I'm going to mix this in again. More things to mix in. And it also somehow gives it a tiny bit of colour as well. I've got a lump of it, and as it's on the heat, it should melt. Or it will melt. It should melt, but it will melt. Let's just... because it is melting it. As I'm cooking this, I'm going to be preparing the rice. So what you need is obviously a pan for the rice to go in. I'm using this much, I don't know how much it is, but I'm using some of the purple or red coloured onions here. I don't know what colour you'd call them. Then I'm going to be using 1 slightly heaped cup of rice, a little bit of olive oil. And then some people say that you should use 2 cups. If you use 1 cup of rice, then you should use 2 cups of water. I have put the rice in the pan here, and I've got my 2 cups of water. Don't fill them up too much, or your rice will be soggy. If you want your rice to be soggy, then go ahead and fill the cups up. I'm going to put these in. No, I'm first going to put the salt in actually. I've got some salt here. The dry ingredients first. And now I'm going to put the onions in. When you're cutting the onions, I didn't cut them, I got my mum to cut them. When you're cutting onions, it's better to wear like glasses or goggles because they can make you cry. So now I'm going to put the wet ingredients in. I have put the water in, so now I'm going to put the oil in. I'm just going to put as much as I think should go in. Is enough. And I'm now going to put it on the agar. So I've put on my rice here. So I'm now going to put the beans in here, but you can put a vegetable cube in if you want to. I haven't done. It makes it have a good taste though, but I've put a chicken cube in. And if it's for a vegetarian, then please don't put the chicken cube in and put the vegetable cube in, or if you don't want any of the cubes, then don't put them in. Right, it's time for me to put my beans in now. Here are my beans here. I've put the beans in already and I've stirred them in. Well, and my rice is boiling madly, so I'm going to put it in a lower on a lower heat or in a lower heat in the oven of the oven. This is how it looks now, and I'm going to put it in this one. So I'm going to open it first, so that then I can carry this in. Oh, look at this heavy. There we are. I'm going to leave it in there for 10 minutes and take it out, and it will probably be time to serve because I need lunch ready by 1 or maybe a few minutes. I'm going to be putting some green in there. So I've got some parsley and I'm cutting some spring onion to mix into it. So then it gives it a nice colour. So a little bit of green, because all it is really is all red and orange. And red and orange is basically the same colour. So we need some colour in it. So basically I'm just going to put them in here and then take them there and put them in there, in the beans. So when you see it, I can sprinkle them like that. It's nice and it gives you the green colour. I'm going to put all of it in. Just, I'll sprinkle it in to make it look nice. I just put it in. I don't want to drop the plastic in there because we don't want to eat a pot. So I was about to drop it in there. So I'm going to stir it together. You don't have to stir it together, but I just want to stir it together. But this is ready for serving now, and it's basically the time for lunch as well. I'm cutting the zucchini, and some people call them courgettes. I sometimes call them courgettes, but I forget the name of courgette. So I'm cutting these because we need some green on the side of our food, even though we've already got some green inside it. You have to be careful with the knife because you can cut yourself. Even when you're peeling things, you need to be careful, because when I was younger, for some stupid reason, I was trying to peel a mango and I peeled my thumb and it bled like mad. Okay then, I've cut the zucchini. So I'm going to boil them for 5 to 8 minutes and then I'm going to go serving. Right, I'm going to check my greens. They're finished now. So as you can see, there's liquid on there. That's the condensation. I can teach you about condensation in another video. So these are now finished. I'm now going to check on my rice, which should be ready. And it's going to be hot, and I'm quite sure it's going to be hot because it's been in the oven. So also the handle is going to be cooked. So I'm going to use this as well, because these gloves are very thin. Okay, my mum has helped me to get the rice out, so this is the food that I've got. The rice, some posho, even though I didn't make this, I will teach you how to make some posho in a separate video. Then the greens, the courgette, and then I've got the beans. I hope you like my video. Remember to subscribe, especially if you're new, to watch my videos. And remember to hit that like button. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! This is how my meals turned out. Yummy! The greens, the posho, the rice and the beans.